All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat, Volume 82, our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything: news, reviews, discussions, let's play, announcements, state of plays, trailers, PC support, sometimes quest games. Okay, that was just for Batman. That hasn't happened before, and that probably will never happen again unless Batman 2 comes out. What is up, you guys? So good to see you. This is, of course, like I said, interactive chat where I like to interact with you guys and say what is up to Looper, the underground game cat. Did you get the picture? Did you like our picture together? It was a great picture, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so too. Also, Chrome Colossus, Chrome to the Dome, Aceville VR says LFG. I agree, my homie. That all rhymed. I didn't mean for that to happen. I mean, yes, I did. Melchiah, the Soul Reaving Game Cat. Did you play Soul Reaver yet? Because I haven't, but I'd really like to. Clueless Dad Gamer, hello. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, well, hello there. And my virtual friends, he says, hello, Scotty boy. Scotty boy. I don't know why I won't say that. It's creepy. Jay, the Foveated Rendered Game Cat, which we're going to get into some Foveated Rendered discussion later. Q Creator, evening. Good to see you. Nihilus Ryan, my metal feline friends. How is everybody doing? We are approaching the end of 2024, and my goodness, I must say, you know, after a long summer drought, we started getting some pretty good games, but I am happy to report that at the end of 2024, we are really ending on a high note, in my opinion. We've got some absolute bangers that we're going to be talking about today, and yes, I am referring to Alien Rogue Incursion. Get away from her, you. And Subside. Going to be doing a full breakdown of both of these today, and that's going to be really the main topic of today. Usually I have a long list of news, but we're doing something a little bit different because this week, maybe next week, I might not be doing a show, so heads up on that. So this might be it for 2024 for Interactive Chat. I don't know. I'll try to do something if I can, but I'm going to be very busy next week. So doing lots of other things, lots of awesomeness going on. Don't you worry though. Lots of cool things. But yeah, man, I do have a couple things to talk about today. And like I said, main thing I want to talk about is I want to do a non-spoiler deep dive on Alien Rogue Incursion. Plus, I want to share a potentially kind of spoilery what I want from a part 2. But I'll give you a heads up before I get to that part so I don't give away anything from part 1. I'm not going to necessarily in that section mention stuff that's in part 1. It's more that what's not in part 1, and if I want it in part 2, what may spoil that. So that's what I'm going to try to give you a heads up on when we get there, but we got plenty to talk about with the main part 1 game today anyways. Also pretty crazy, man. There's lots of crazy stuff going on right now. Arken Age Keys have gone out. I've got my Arken Age Keys. Shout out to Vitruvius Games and Blake for getting a key to us a month in advance. You guys are absolute rock stars. I appreciate you because I really like taking my time. That's one thing I learned about playing through one thing I really appreciate about Alien Rogue Incursion as well is, you know, as a reviewer, it's really nice being able to take your time, not feeling like you're rushed, because people want reviews. People want that information as fast as possible. And, you know, sometimes it's better to wait. Sometimes it's not. It's kind of a minefield to navigate, honestly. So having this much leeway to get through the game is going to be awesome. Cannot wait to check out Arken Age. I have a feeling it's going to be very good, but I can't say anything. I haven't played it yet anyways. Surprisingly, we had some other releases today and yesterday and the day before. We got some tomorrow. Demeo Battles came out, which I have not had a chance to play yet, unfortunately, but I'm really excited, you guys. Don't sleep on Demeo Battles. I'm certainly not going to, and don't sleep on Demeo because I freaking love that game. So I got to give it a shout out there. Also, Starship Troopers Continuum came out. which I also have not played yet, which is why I won't be talking about these two games today. But that one, I would definitely hold off, wait for reviews for Starship Troopers. I had requested a key, and they sent me like a key for the Quest, and I played it on Quest, and I wasn't really too happy with it there. So I just said, let me just wait for the PSVR2 version. I'll play that and then go. Santace Gamer, what is up, dude? Says Demio Battles is fire. Can't stop playing it. That is awesome, man. I love to hear. Can you play it single player, Santace Gamer? That's what I really want to know about Demio Battles. Because Demio is widely known to be, it's known for its multiplayer, but I always get mad because it's like, dude, Demio is amazing single player, and I would just really hate for anyone to miss out on Demio just because they think it's multiplayer only. So let me know in the chat. I will confirm for everybody if Demio Battles can also be played like single player style, because that would be really cool. Masters of Light also came out. Holy crap, man. Can you believe this? This is just like a year-end dump truck of games. You know what it is? It's Sony. Every New Year's, Sony shuts down, right? Like their QA shuts down, nothing. So everybody is getting their game out last minute before the year end for the holidays. Good on you for getting it out on time. And then everything else is going to start coming out mid-January, later January, and so on. But the good news is that we got a lot of this stuff just dump trucked onto the store now. So I'll have a couple things to play through over the holidays as well, over next week during my vacation. And I'm really looking forward to checking some of this out, especially Arken Age. And one of the reasons I know that Sony shuts down too is because, history. I've been doing this for 6 years, and also Exocars gave us a little bit of an update, saying that sadly their game has been delayed again and pushed into 2025. It's all good, Exocars. We have so much shit to play right now. Like, release your game when we're starving for games, and you will probably do a lot better. People will probably pick it up more. In terms of Exocars, though, part of the reason that it got delayed was going through certification process, and part of that certification update was wheel support. So it looks like, according to them, I believe that when Exocars gets here in January, late January, something, maybe early February, it's going to have wheel support. It's going to be fully polished, all the patches, all the content. So that's going to be pretty good. So that's one that you definitely want to keep an eye out, especially everybody that has a racing wheel from Gran Turismo 7. Definitely something to keep an eye on there. But Masters of Light also came out. I know literally nothing about this game, so I haven't even got there yet. I've been drowning in games lately. It's the best problem to have, but also it's like, I want to give attention to like every single game that interests me, and I like to give every game a fair chance, mostly. You know me. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't care. But Masters of Light is something that I'm like, yeah, that's one that I would like to at least try out and see what it's all about. And definitely looking forward to playing Demio Battles and, as well as Starship Troopers. So I hope that's better on PSVR2 than my first impressions on the Quest. I didn't play it much on the Quest, though, so not really much to give an opinion. But all I know is that the tutorial and a little bit beyond the first level and the tutorial were super boring. So, but I was also playing by myself. It is a multiplayer game, so again, I want to give it a fair chance. Santace Gamer, thank you so much for coming through with that. Confirms, says absolutely single player with bots or challenges for Demio Battles. Boom, there we go. I don't know why that always kind of gets missed in the marketing. I know Resolution Games, they like to market their games as multiplayer games, but they're sometimes really good single player. Demio is amazing single player, and it sounds like Demio Battles might be as well. So cannot wait to try Demio Battles. That'll probably be Aside from maybe Arken Age, that might be the first thing I play when I get a free minute. But yeah, man, hot new releases. And then, of course, dude, so many games just came out. But then, of course, like I said, the big ones that I want to talk about today are Alien Rogue Incursion. And then I think Subside drops tomorrow, I believe. So get your wallets ready, peoples, because they're about to take a beating. And it's only going down from here. And I'll tell you why in just a second. But first, I want to get to a donation from Nihilist Ryan, my metal feline friend. Thank you so much for the love and support and getting that tip train going right back at you, homie. Also, nice leather jacket. I used to have a leather jacket just like that. He posted it in our Discord, by the way. I forgot to do housekeeping, guys. But anyways, when I was I love snowboarding, but obviously living in Atlanta, I don't get to snowboard very much at all, even. So I used to go out to Colorado, Aspen, a couple other places, and Denver, and I really love snowboarding, and I grabbed a really cool leather jacket just like that, and I had it, and I still have it actually. My little brother stole it from me though. That's okay. He rocks it pretty hard, so that's okay. It says, first tip of the day, are they aliens or just undocumented extraterrestrials? You're so wrong for that, Nihilist Ryan, but that's why I love you, my friend. Thank you for the donation, man. Let's see here. Lots of people. Oh, Flame Hat, the Game Cat, fire, says Masters of Light is cool. Great music and atmosphere. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing that. Look at all of you here today, man. So good to see each and every one of you, man. Wow. A Dizzle in the house tonight. Carlotron. Looper, I think I already got you. Ryan, let's go sports team. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, man? Bound Underground. Crazy Taxi VR. I don't know why you said that, but yes. 100% yes. In fact, yeah. I love Offspring too. I saw Offspring live. They were really, really great. They're one of my, at least album wise, they're one of my favorite like punk rock bands. Same with NoFX and a couple other ones. But anyways, guys, the reason that you need to brace your wallets, not only because it's Christmas time, you're going to be buying lots of presents, ordering lots of meals and food for your families and friends out there. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. I hope you have a wonderful time next week. And yeah, man, I'm going to be, like I said, hanging out, having some fun. What is up, Chaos? I see you too, bro. Game Cat Farmer Brown, Aliens, Azur Wrath, dropping some breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. We've been kind of monitoring this sale situation with the PSVR2, and man, it has exploded lately. I mean, it has quadrupled. No, it is more like it is selling like 20, and now Azur Wrath is saying that Amazon is showing 30K plus sold for PSVR2. That is amazing, man. VR headsets are selling like hotcakes right now. VR is on the uptick in general, I feel, which is great because it was kind of going through a little bit of lull. You know, the whole games industry was kind of going through is kind of hurting. So it's nice to see that things are starting to kind of like go back, tick up again. It's really encouraging to see. It's really great because there's a lot of games coming. There's a lot of big games we've gotten recently, and we need people to buy these games because they are awesome and I want more. And I'm talking about stuff like Into the Radius and Behemoth and Metro and, man, so many things. Speaking of which, there is a sale incoming tomorrow. This is why I said brace your wallets, because if you haven't spent enough money yet, well, my friends, I got bad news for you because there's more money that you're going to be spending. So starting tomorrow, there is the holiday sale on PSN, and it's starting December 20th and then going on through January 6th, all the way. So you're going to have some time to spread it out a little bit. The pricing has not officially started, but I did want to quickly run through some different games that are going to be on sale and give a sort of preemptive this is what you should keep an eye out for tomorrow. Maybe I'll throw in a price of what to look for it for. A couple different games. So are you guys ready? During the holiday sale tomorrow, there's going to be games on sale such as Arizona Sunshine Remake, which I recommend. I think the best way to go about Arizona Sunshine Remake is hopefully you had it, upgrade it for $10. If you can get it for like 15, 20 bucks max, it's solid. Not a must-have at 20 for me personally. I think the upgrade $10 is the must, but really enjoyed Arizona Sunshine. It was fun, especially with multiplayer. Demio is going on sale. I was just harping about how much I love Demio. And yeah, man, like really give this game a chance, man. It can be played single player. It can be played multiplayer. It's really good. Although you might be more interested in Demio battles at this point. No, probably not. If you haven't played. Aceville backing me up here says remake Arizona Sunshine Remake is really good. Hellsweeper is also on sale. Keep in mind, it just got an an Alliance update, and also added 3-player multiplayer, new boss, various different things. I love Hellsweeper. It's a lot of fun. If you like Devil May Cry and want to feel like Dante and the ultimate badass in VR combat, get Hellsweeper. It's really good. Okay, this is an important one. Now, I don't know the pricing on this one, but this is going to be important for later. You may want to keep an eye on the Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Edition. That's going to be going on sale. We'll see how much it's going to be. I don't know. Sometimes it's a great price. Sometimes it's, still expensive. But last time, I think the Deluxe Edition was actually pretty cheap, like 20 bucks something. So maybe time to buy that and just hold on to it and wait for the launch of the PSVR2 version in 2025. Oh, guys, I'm so happy that 2025 is looking pretty good now. There was a lot of stuff that was supposed to come out this year that got pushed back to 2025, and now 2025 is actually seeming pretty good. And the greatest part about that is it's the first half. So not going to have to wait till the end of the year. It's going to be a really interesting year, especially first half of the year for PSVR2. Also on sale, Into the Radius. Guys, Into the Radius is a must-have. I don't know if it's, there's a lot of really great games that came out this year. And Into the Radius is definitely one of them. That is potentially one of my Game of the Year contenders for PSVR 2. Do I think it would actually win? It's close. It's close. But I do think it is at the very least, Into the Radius is a Game of the Year nominee for me. It is fantastic. Sergeant Frosty in the house, man. What is up? Me too, bro. Is Legendary Tales still be on sale till January? I have no idea. Is Legendary Tales on sale right now? I don't know, but you should buy Legendary Tales when it's on sale. Absolutely as well. Madison VR is going to be on sale. And I highly recommend Madison VR. That is another Game of the Year contender for me. It was amazing. Like it's one of the scariest games I've ever played. It's a flat to VR conversion game, not by Flat to VR Studios, but it is a flat game converted to VR, which is like basically what like my favorite, pretty much my favorite kind of VR games. Although I like Built from the Ground Up as well, of course. But yeah, Madison VR, amazing. Metro Awakening is going to be on sale, so definitely keep an eye on that. It was on sale recently for I think $30. And I would highly recommend Metro Awakening. I absolutely loved it. I think we need more games like it. And if you want a single player story-driven campaign, then I absolutely do it. If there is, the next one is a game that I've actually been thinking about a lot today. I listened to the soundtrack because I don't know why, but I was listening to the soundtrack while working, and I was like, I really feel like revisiting this game. One of my all-time all-time favorite VR games of all time. And I think it is one of the best VR games ever made. It's probably one you might have played, but if you've just picked up a headset, I'm talking to you out there who just grabbed your headset. Moss book 1 and book 2, I think, I know book 1's going to be on sale, but I'm going to roll a trailer for book 2 because it's all I had at the moment. If you guys haven't picked up Moss, man, or never played it, please check out Moss and see what it's all about. And it's family friendly for the holidays. You can stick grandma on there and let her check it out. I let my mom play Moss when I visited her 1 year, and she absolutely loved it. She saw me playing it and she was like, I was visiting her and she saw me playing it and she was like, what is that? And she was like, I need to play this. I was like, what? You need to what now? Because she doesn't play video games like at all. She looks at me playing video games on the TV when I was growing up and she's like, I'm going to be sick. She got motion sickness from just watching me play Earthworm Jim on the SNES as a kid. Dude, Moss, I've got Quill. I've got my Quill statue, my Quill mug. Such a quality game. Guys, if you just picked up a PSVR 2, do yourself a favor and play Moss Book 1 and Book 2. One of my favorites, I think one of the richest, that's the word that I like to use, one of the richest games out there. Kind of like Redwall, the book series. It's this fantasy woodland creature, medieval looking thing, but it's all little woodland critters. And it's got squirrel horses, man. It's got squirrel horses. I repeat. So you need to go and check yourself out some squirrel horses. That's all I'm saying. And little battle mice. It's so good, man. So good. Such a quality game. But moving on, Phasmophobia is also going to be on sale. Phasmophobia is janky, but it's amazing. It's really, really good. You can play so much. It's really awesome and addicting, and it's terrifying by yourself, but it's really fun with friends, and it's not as scary with friends. So that game's also crushing it. That game has topping the charts everywhere. It's one of the best-selling games, obviously because it's a flat game as well. Nice little hybrid title, actually, come to think about it. Another hybrid title. But Phasmophobia is amazing. Pistol Whip is going to be on sale. If that's like $15, so between 15 and $20, especially more like 15, it's like a must-have around 15. $20, it's like, okay, if you haven't played it, then yeah, you need to add it to your library. Some people don't know that Pistol Whip has like actually a story campaign with boss battles and stuff. So definitely recommend Pistol Whip. It's a great, again, another great party game. Resident Evil Village is also going to be on sale. If you have a PSVR 2 and you haven't played Resident Evil Village, your only excuse is that you can't handle horror games, and that's okay. But still, if any other reason, like you have to play Resident Evil Village, I think it's the best game on PSVR 2. It has the most amazing boss battles. It always goes back and forth between Resident Evil Village and Gran Turismo 7 for me as to what the best PSVR 2 game. And it's just a hard one to top, man, because Resident Evil Village is a hybrid game that was designed with VR in mind. And so it just is amazing for that. It's both a hybrid as well as a built for VR game. And for that reason, I feel like it's the best game on there. Legendary Tales is still on sale. Grab Legendary Tales. Best combat on most of VR. Maybe not all of VR, but at least on PSVR 2, easily the best melee combat. Res Infinite is also going to be on sale. If you can find that for $15-20. Look, Res Infinite doesn't always go on really high sale. Usually it's like $20 or so, $23 something. Listen, find a way to squeeze Res Infinite into your life somehow. And this is why. Because it has eye-tracking gameplay. You have to try Res Infinite with a badass pair of headphones and you have to use the eye tracking mode for the gameplay. It's unique. It's unique to PSVR2. It's unique to all VR. It really stands out for that reason. It does make it a little easy playing it with eye tracking, because all you got to do is look at stuff and you can shoot it. But it feels so good. The game is beautiful on PSVR2 as well. Inky blacks and great soundtrack, great music, everything. Sergeant Frosty, Into the Radius is going to be featured on the sale tomorrow. All this stuff is happening tomorrow. So if you're watching live, it's not yet. Hold. It's tomorrow. And then it goes on until January 6th. So you're good, man. You're good. You didn't miss the boat. The boat hasn't even arrived yet. Also another good combat game, Swordsman. Release the Kraken. If you just love, if you want to just get in and, battle it out with some amazing sword fighting physics, then Swordsman is great for that. That and Legendary Tales, I think, do have the best combat on PSVR 2. Sword melee combat, sword fighting. Tetris Effect going to be on sale. That's a really good one. If you're feeling down, I highly recommend playing through Tetris Effect Journey mode. It will take you on a ride, and it'll be a lovely one. I put the Seventh Guest here, but puzzles, meh. Seventh Guest is a good game, though. But I hate puzzles. It's the type of puzzle game I absolutely hate. But it is a good game. And I love the theme of it. I wish I liked it more. Townsman VR is going to be on sale. And Townsman VR is kind of a hidden gem on the system. It's not like amazing, but it's just a really good, if you like a city builder kind of thing. It's not Cities VR, but it's got a little bit of like a campaign. I played it for like 10 hours. I never finished it, but I played it for like 10 hours and I liked it. Not a must have, but just one to keep your eye on. If it's for like $15 or something, 10, $15, that'd be great. Vampire the Masquerade Justice. Somebody was giving me crap. Who was that? Somebody was giving me crap for liking this game. Who was that? Show yourself. For anyone who doesn't know, the chat is also providing some extra insight. So make sure you pay attention to them on some second opinions. You don't really want just one person's opinion, unless it's mine, of course. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, Vampire Masquerade Justice is, I think, amazing. I don't know what I gave it. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8, maybe a high 8, like 8.9 something. Vampire Masquerade Justice is very good. You get to play as a freaking vampire in VR, man. Who wouldn't love to do that? Looper the Underground Game Cat says, I give everyone crap for not liking Vampire enough. There you go, Looper. That's why we're friends. Scott the PSVR Game Cat for Life says, buy Vampire now. I agree. Vampire the Masquerade Justice, man. Amazing game. Like really amazing game. 8 hours campaign. Definitely one that we need. And like I said, you get to play as a vampire. Just the vampire mechanics in VR are awesome. And then lastly, here on the list, we've got Vendetta Forever. It's been funny seeing the developers are like tweeting about their game a lot. And rightfully so. I would too if I was in their position, because they earned it. But they're like, we are the highest rated VR game ever on Metacritic. And it's like next to like Half-Life Alyx, and they're like, we're rated higher. It's like, I don't think that's really how that works, but more power to you. No, but really, Vendetta Forever. If you already have Pistol Whip, Synth Riders, all those other great rhythm games, Beat Saber Metallica Pack, then Vendetta Forever is a great action rhythm game. If you like stuff like Super Hot, you'll probably like it. It's great. I really enjoyed it. I didn't finish it. It's not, but I feel like that it's just going to be one of those games that's kind of timeless, and you can go back to it at any point and enjoy. But that's it, man. The number one game. Okay, those were a lot of really good games on there. Like I said, especially with like newer ones like Into the Radius, Metro Awakening, Phasmophobia being on sale. That's a good get. Those just came out, already going on sale for the holidays. That's excellent. Aceville VR going to bat for Vendetta Forever. Yeah, man. Great game. I really, really like it. You're just in a lot better shape and have a lot more energy and youth aura than I do. I can't play it as much, but no, it is really fun. I did like what I played. But yeah, if none of the new stuff interests you, if you want something family friendly, something you can play in the living room for Christmas, Moss, man, please pick up Moss if you haven't. I was feeling it today, man. I was like, I gotta give Polyarch some love today for Moss. It's literally one of my favorite games of all time. That's why I have a mug and a Quill statue. Also, shout out Quill the Game Cat in the chat tonight. What is up? Good to see him. So good to see each and every one of you, man. Good to see all of you. Aceville says Vendetta Forever gets very creative the further you play into it as well. Must play. Very nice. Sergeant Frosty, loving Rogue Incursion. Good. We're going to get to that in a second. But before we get into Rogue Incursion, we might revisit this holiday sale because it'll be going on, and I might do another one before we might get to revisit this. But those are just without knowing the prices yet, starting tomorrow, or if you're listening to this on December 20th or later, then it's out. Keep an eye on those games that I mentioned, especially if you just got a PSVR2. All right, so we do have to get to the two big games I want to talk about today. Before we get into Alien Rogue Incursion, Sergeant Frosty, I do want to talk about Subside. Now, for those who I forgot to give my usual shout out, if there was a moment in the intro, if you go back and rewind the intro, after I was, doing my usual goofy stuff, I like blanked for a second. And that's because I knew there was something I was supposed to be doing and I forgot what it was. I was supposed to be thanking these people down here that support me on patreon.com/PSVR Underground. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support. And those who are on there, the chosen ones, the officers and generals. Oh, look, it's my living room. I did not mean for... No, it's not my living room. It's actually my office. I'm going to be rolling some Subside gameplay here. I did post a review. I wanted to do a video review just like I did for Aliens, but I just don't have enough time. I didn't have enough time. So I did a written review. That's usually what I do when I don't have enough time. For Subside on PSVR2. Now, I have covered this game before on the PC VR, just played the first 2 levels, and I checked it out and gave you guys kind of like a preview as to what to expect. However, this time around, I have completed. I spent all weekend playing Aliens and Subside just to be able to talk about them later. And yeah, man. So Subside, for those who don't know, is a diving sim exploration where you get to basically jump in. There's 7 levels. There's four main levels. One's a training area. And then I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler. Maybe not. I don't really know. There's 3 additional levels, bonus levels. One of them, they're not really like full levels though. Now, the thing about this game is, we've had at the launch of PSVR2, we had Kayak VR Mirage. And this is how I feel about Subside. There's 2 things I want to compare it to. Number 1, Kayak VR Mirage. And number 2, Ocean Descent on PlayStation VR Worlds on PSVR 1. Because Ocean Descent on PSVR 1 was one of the first things I ever played on PSVR. Not VR, but on PSVR. And it was one of the most mind-blowing first experiences to have. The way I feel about Subside is like, I am so glad that this game is releasing because we sorely needed something like this to go, you're new to VR, check this out. This is the kind of thing that people will jump into for the first time, and they'll be like, holy crap, VR is the future. that being said, two disclaimers real quick. If you're picking this up tomorrow, hopefully you are, because I do highly recommend it. Turn off swim turn to start with. Swim turn, I think, is just it's you're supposed to be able to, like, you know, motion with your hands and it'll turn you left and right. I wouldn't recommend starting out with that because it might make you very sick. So turn that off. But guys, this game looks absolutely phenomenal on PSVR2. It looks very, very similar to the PC version when I played on a 4060 Ti, and it looks equally awesome on PSVR2 on PS5. If you have a PS5 Pro, it also has a couple small enhancements like dynamic shadows, which people really care about, and because they just add to the immersion a little bit, and a slight resolution increase. The game is already like crystal clear, super sharp, and when I say crystal clear, I mean like crystal clear. There's 90 native frames per second, no reprojection, dynamic foveated rendering, super sharp, super clear, and great. Also, the swimming feels very intuitive, feels very, very good. But yeah, there's, I'd say, like 3 big levels in this. And the thing about this game, like I said, so it's a little bit of a mix of diving and exploration, and just kind of like, if you want to just explore and enjoy some good feeling gameplay, it's very relaxing. It looks gorgeous. And there's actually some things to do in this. You know, that's what I was kind of comparing. So Kayak VR Mirage, as much as I think it's a great tech demo, it's very much a tech demo. It's not a good game, Kayak VR Mirage. It's a great tech demo. But there's 2 things wrong with it. One, it's just boring. Like, it's not fun to play at all, except for maybe a little bit of the rapids level. But the main game itself is not fun. And it also uses like reprojection, also has really bad Mura. This game has none of that. And on top of it, actually has like, it's actually fun to play and enjoy and relax and hang out in. And it actually gives you a little bit of a progression system as well. And that comes in the form of finding coins. Like, so you're doing like a little scavenger hunt. You're going around, you're finding coins, and then you're also finding keys to unlock these various chests that are scattered around or hidden around. And every time you unlock a chest, it opens a new item available in the store. And then you use the coins that you find to purchase the items. And the cool thing here is it all just kind of works together. The tools that you can buy from the store that you unlock from the chest are actually pretty useful. It's stuff that will help you, like fins to make you swim faster, or be able to, you know, press a button to kick your feet and be able to paddle. And there's all sorts of different things. I'll let you kind of discover everything that there is there. Man, look, you can tell I'm having a really good time playing this, by the way, in this footage. I'm having a lot of fun. This was my first time playing it on PSVR2 for review. And yeah, and like, I had already played it on PC, but I was having a good time, man. But like I said, what I really love about this is that there's an actual little bit of progression system. Now, the game, I think, you know, the strength of it is really just the experience of it and how visually stunning. You guys, there is like the third level in this game blew my mind. I poked my head up out of the water, and it was kind of like what Kayak VR Mirage looks like on a couple levels, but it's like no reprojection, no Mura, crystal clear, and shocking. Like, this is literally one of the best looking games on PSVR 2. I think that title is going to stay with Red Matter 2 because those guys are wizards and they're insane, and they render it, Red Matter 2, at like 6,000 by 6,000 something that's just ridiculous that you can't even get with a 4090 PC. But that being said, I think this is still like top 5 top 5, easily top 10, maybe top 5 best looking games on PSVR2. But I just love the environments. They're beautiful. They're stunning. I love the like light refracting from the water. And I like a lot of the models of some of the wildlife here. I'm a big environment guy, a big wildlife guy. Like I love just, animal watching and going to the zoo and looking at my backyard woods and staring at birds. I like animals a lot. I'm a sucker for animals, which is probably why I love Quill so much. But yeah, man, the models of the animals and everything look fantastic as well. And there's a lot of cool animals to discover. There's a lot of stuff that like, you'll go around. It's not all just like fish. There's some other stuff that's kind of hiding there. And like as an example, and I won't say what it was, but there was a moment where I went down to go get a coin. Actually, there was 2 moments where I went to go and get one of the coins. I'm like, oh, I see something shiny. I go down to get it. And then I look over and there's like an animal staring me right in the face. And I was like, oh, and it looked really, really good. There was another one where I went and grabbed a coin and then like something popped out and I was like, oh man. And it surprised me, and not like in a scary way, but it was just like, whoa, just surprising. But yeah, man, this game also, as somebody mentioned, Rachel, the Janky Game Cat, what is up? So good to see you. And I hope you've been enjoying Aliens. I've been watching your comments on Discord about Alien. I'm like, what you saying? Oh, having a good time? Yes. Okay. But anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Made by one guy, which is pretty damn impressive. In terms of, kind of the critiques that I have, because I don't really have that many. One, I wish the haptics were better in this. There's not really, there are a little bit of haptics, but not really. I would, the developer mentioned a couple things. They mentioned that they're not experienced with haptics, but they're looking into it because lots of people have apparently given that feedback. I don't think you have to have haptics every, stroke of the arm or whatever, that every time you're like swimming or paddling. But I do think there should be more than what there currently is. There's really not even close to enough like good haptics in this. And I think you could, Hubris is a great example of doing swimming haptics. But also Hubris, you're not swimming the entire game. But if I were the developer, I wouldn't worry about the batteries draining. Like be selfish, man. Let people just enjoy your game. Make your game the best it can, and we can recharge them. It's not like they're you when the batteries die on the controllers, they're dead. No, man, go crazy with it. Just make it feel good is all that I ask. But I want to be able to, we're VR heads. We're all about immersion, and I agree, Flamehat. There should be a Kraken in this. I want to be able to reach out and I want to touch a fish, and when I touch a fish, I feel it a little bit, or when I touch the ground, I feel it a little bit. Splash my hands in the water, I want to feel it. There's so many areas you could add good haptics to this. So I have a feeling that that's going to be something that gets added later, because there's just so much potential for that. And I also agree, Awesome Tatum, there should be sea monsters in this as well. I love you guys. But yeah, there's the haptics, or lack thereof, that I would say, that they need to add to it. Gonna probably take some time because, like I said, he's not experienced with it. But also, your hands can get stuck behind stuff. Like the physics and everything feel pretty good. There's only one thing that kind of bothered me, was like your hand can actually get stuck behind an object, and you can keep going. And even though you don't have full body IK or anything, your floating hand can get stuck behind an object, and you go like 5 feet away, and then it just pulls you right back, and it's just. It doesn't feel good. And that could be cleaned up a little bit or something. Let the hand release, or I don't know, something. I just didn't like the way that felt. The big thing I would love to see about this game is I just want more. Like I love it as is. I do have one other complaint, So like I mentioned before, there's 4 main levels, a training area, and then 3 like actual levels. Dude, Brian mentioned this a lot on his review and mentioned it, I think, when talking about it. And I felt exactly the same way. There is a cave level where you explore in a cave, and holy crap, that cave level is nuts. It is super claustrophobic, and you feel like you're going to run out of breath and drown. It's very scary. It's something that if in like real life, I would be like, no, like hell no, I would never do this in real life, but I'll do it in a game because you have extra lives in a game. But dude, that cave diving experience where you're just like, I mean, it is literally like this much space that you cram through, like this much space. It is literally, you're squeezing through rocks underwater in a cave. It is horrifying. But no, it is actually really cool. But I love that experience. My only other gripe here is that there's 3 bonus levels. You get them by finding secrets that are scattered around. And once you collect a certain amount of secrets, it's no secret, I think, that there's a shark level. I think most people know that there's a shark level. I wasn't super pleased with the bonus levels. It was cool that like there's more game loop to like find the collectibles to unlock them. But there's 3 different ones. There's a shark one. There's another one, which I just will let you discover. And then there's a whale one. The shark one is kind of cool, but really what it is just an empty pool with you in a shark cage. And there's a shark just swimming around. And it just kind of like bumps into the cage a little bit and it goes, Arr. and it looks great. I will say, like, I actually like the shark one. It's not like Ocean Descent, where you have this like really intense like shark experience or this like really, diving, in a cage kind of thing. It's literally just you in a pool in a shark cage with a shark floating around, bumping into the cage a little bit. And it looks great. I do like it. It is something that I think would be fun. And I also didn't realize you could accidentally leave the cage. And like, so like I was like hanging out and like, oh yeah, Santace Gamer just said, Miles fell out of the cage on his Let's Play and freaked the F out. Yeah, that same thing happened to me. I accidentally like fell out of the cage and I was like, oh shit. But it doesn't do anything. It still swims around. It doesn't like eat you or anything. I would love to see some more interactions with the shark thing. I want to see it like attack the cage, do some crazy stuff. But I like the shark one. The other one, which I won't mention, was also very beautiful, and I like that. And there's lots of fishies swimming around. They look great. But the most disappointing one of all was the whales. Dude, the whale bonus level was very disappointing. It is literally just the empty pool again, and then it's just 2 okay looking whale models. And they look like plastic. Like they don't look alive. They don't feel alive. They're just floating around going, and, and like, that's it. Like, I wish they looked better. I wish they were bigger. It seemed like it was just some last minute stuff he kind of crammed in as bonus stuff, which I'm, happy that there's more stuff, but I'd rather it be good than just there. So that's the only disappointing thing. But guys, as far as Subside goes, I highly recommend it. I think it's really fun to play. It's beautiful. It's relaxing. There's some cool stuff to do. And really, I want to see more. I want to support this developer. And I want more. One thing this game could benefit from is some... One thing that could benefit from is like actually adding an experience with this. Like I like the idea of having things that you can find that unlock a bonus level and an experience. But I'd actually like the dev to take a page out of like Ocean Descent's thing and give us an ocean deep descent. Dude, this game has so much potential. This is a great start. I think that this game really could be, I think it is pretty special, but I think it could be like really, really special. Must have, make this guy rich special. With some like really good experiences, you know, like I said, like diving down in the ocean in a cage, having some like encounters that are like magical, and, you know, add some music to it, everything. Oh, the audio design in this is really good too, but there's no music. It's just bubbles. I really think it could benefit from that. I would love to see just more levels. Like, I would love DLC for this. Give me a $5 level. But if you're going to do that, make sure it's equal of the quality of the other 3 levels. Because if it's like the training area, if it's like the bonus levels, that's not going to be sufficient. That's not enough for spending lots of money on. But I do think he could just continue to add content to this and just raise the price of the game later, or introduce some DLC packs. But make them big. Take your time with them. Make them big. Make them really good. And I think they'd be awesome. I'd love to explore a pirate ship. I'd like to, like I said, you know, have a real like shark encounter experience where it's, you know, attacking the cage more or something. I don't know. I'd like to go like deep ocean with, you know, there's a lot of aquatic life out there that you can use. You know, tropical coral reef scuba diving or snorkeling, stuff like that. There's pretty much like almost not endless, but there's like almost endless stuff you could do with this. But I love this game, man. It was really good. It's like being in a fishbowl, and it feels really good. It plays really good. Add some haptics, add some more content, and keep it going, man. Keep it up. Keep up the great work, because this is fantastic. This is really high quality. Great, you know, small game is what I'd say. It's not I'd give it more credit than just being a tech demo like Kayak VR. I think it's a really, really great small game. And yeah, man, highly recommend. Got to pick this up. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, says AJ wants to find Nemo. I do. Captain Nemo. What up, Junkie? Let's see here. Nothing But Truth says I'm still on level 1 and struggled to find all the coins or whatever because they really wanted to try out level 2. This game will definitely dangle the carrot in front of you and make you like want to unlock more levels and everything. That's kind of where the disappointment from the whale level came from. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't want to spoil anything else. But yeah, awesome game. Highly recommend. Have some fun with it, man. Add some DLC. Give me a sunken pirate ship to explore with ghost fish and ghost pirates and treasure and sea monsters and a kraken and all those things. Make it epic. What is up, JPEG? Guys, that is it for Subside, though. It is time to talk about our main event of the evening. And that is, of course, Happy Aliens Rogue Incursion launch day. It's actually Alien Rogue Incursion launch day. I keep saying aliens. But guys, Alien Rogue Incursion just came out today. Thank you so much for checking out my review. A lot of you did. I appreciate it. Funny story about this one. I had a feeling I was going to be kind of the odd man out here. You know, a lot of the times, a lot of reviews are kind of like together, but I like that sometimes there's differences, right? Most of the time, I'm like, yeah, this game's not as good as this person's saying. But it's just opinions, man. At the end of the day, look, this game has gotten some pretty all over the place reviews from critics. There's one problem with that, though, is that a lot of these are on PC. We're talking about the PSVR2 version here today. I'm not talking about the PC version. I haven't played the PC version. I don't really care to. Because I don't have my PC for playing games that I can play and get a better experience on a console. You should be only using... Why are you reviewing this game on PC, guys? Why? You should be reviewing this... The only thing you should be doing with your PC is playing VR mods, because that's the best part about PC VR gaming. It's the mods. That's literally the best part. Any actual published release, you need to be reviewing it on PlayStation VR2 or the Quest, because the Quest has, you know, I'm sure if the Quest version was coming out, they'd review that. But what are you doing reviewing the PC version over the PSVR2 version? Come on, man. Why? Because this game actually has really good haptics, adaptive triggers, and headset rumble, and it looks exactly the same, probably has less bugs, and runs really well. Should not be reviewing the PC version, for the love of God. But anyways, guys, Alien Rogue Incursion came out today, and I'm super excited because I freaking love this game. It's not perfect, like I said in my review, and we'll get into different reasons why it's not perfect and some of the issues it does have, which is really not many, to be honest, for me. Anyways. But yeah, I'm not going to really repeat a lot of the stuff from my review. That's very, you know, just surface level stuff. But yeah, I kind of knew, you know, I was talking with Brian from Without Parole, for this one person who doesn't know. We were kind of talking about this game while we were playing through it or whatever. And when we finished it, I was like, dude, this game's to literally quote myself, I said, this game is effing amazing. Okay, paraphrasing a little bit there, but I said, this game is effing amazing. Why? I think for a couple reasons. Number one, I am a huge disclaimer. I am extremely biased towards the Alien franchise. I'm not like, you know, I don't like just anything, but I like Sergeant Frosty said, Alien and Aliens, the first two movies in particular, are a big part of my childhood. When I was a kid, I loved horror movies. And I always loved Alien and Aliens. I even liked Alien 3 for a while until I tried to go back and watch it, and I was like, I tried to watch the three in a row, and like Alien, I've always thought was like the best horror movie. Aliens was like the best action movie, and then Alien 3 was like, watching that after the first two is hard. It's not bad like on its own, but watching it after the first two is like, it's like a drama. It's like, oh, the third one they went drama. But I've played a couple different, lots of different Aliens games over the years. And more recently, at least when it comes to VR, I've played Alien Isolation VR mod. I've played Alien Fireteam Elite with UEVR, and I absolutely loved both of those. I actually played some Alien Fireteam Elite last night too. Historically, Alien movies, Alien games have always been kind of hit or miss. It seems like there's not very often a good one. It seems like there's long stretches of bad ones, and then there's like a really good one that comes along when they like soft reboot it or whatever. But as a longtime fan of the series, one thing I really appreciate about this game is that this game actually seems like it's canon and it's tied to the lore, because of a couple references they make, because of some of the things they say. Now, of course, like I said in my review, which I won't try to retread too much, you are playing as just a colonial marine named Zula Hendricks, and it's just kind of like a spinoff. It's a spinoff designed to let you immerse yourself into the Aliens universe, and for me, it was a 10-hour game, and I know for some people they had a little bit shorter. But here's the thing, is that the second I stepped foot on this planet, I kid you not, like I just walked around and I was just like soaking it all in, because the design, the set design here is absolutely phenomenal. The set design, the lighting, the atmosphere. I don't know if anything has ever captured the Alien atmosphere as good as this does. It is, to me, it is just jaw dropping. I sat there just for within the first 5 minutes of this game, 10 minutes, like I was already sold. Like I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. But this game does some of the best job of just capturing the Alien atmosphere and delivering like an authentic Alien experience. And that to me made me very happy. There are, a couple things, like I said, that there's definitely some critiques that I have, some issues that I take with it. But a couple things I want to address here. A lot of talking points today. Some people have been talking about reprojection and it being, I was actually kind of surprised that I've seen a couple people like mention it and be like, oh, I don't know. This is the problem with the internet sometimes is like, I don't know who's actually played what and who's just like, saying what they heard or saw from another video. It's hard to tell sometimes. For me, I started the game. I did the little reprojection test, and I could easily tell that it has reprojection. But that was it. Like after I did the little, oh yeah, like I can see a little bit of ghosting when I do this. After that, the rest of the game, I did not notice it. Maybe for some of those that are more sensitive to reprojection are going to notice it more. But if you're like me, like I don't notice reprojection at all, really. I think I notice it with Call of the Mountain. I do notice it with like some games, but it's hardly a distraction. I notice Mura a lot more. Brian and I are kind of like opposites. He notices reprojection. I notice Mura. He doesn't notice Mura. I don't really notice reprojection. I have to work to see it. But I think typically because it's kind of a darker game, that it kind of hides it well. Reprojection to me is a lot more noticeable in brighter games, more bright and really heavily saturated colors. I think that's why Call of the Mountain sticks out so much, is because I don't think like Call of the Mountain has great graphics overall, but from the moment to moment gameplay, those bright colors, those oversaturated colors really stick out. But this, not so much, man. I didn't notice it. Most of the game looked really, really good to me. There was like, now this is the thing. The developers have, when I was playing it, I did notice that it seemed like there was fixed foveated rendering. There's been some, I don't know if it's developers or community manager has been going on Reddit and saying it is dynamic foveated rendering. I don't know. Listen, that should be enough to take their word at that because they're with Survios. Unfortunately, I've been in situations where people say that, community managers or other people, they say, yeah, confirmed. And that turns out not to be the case. And in this game, I actually thought it was fixed foveated rendering because I thought there was a moment or two or a couple places where I looked to the corners and I could see blurry edges around the corner, meaning that it's it's rendering everything at the highest detail straight ahead, what you're looking at. And also the Survios people, they called it gazed-based tracking, gazed eye tracking or whatever, gazed-based foveated rendering, sorry, is what they said. I've never heard that term before, so I'm like, sorry, look, I have a skeptic brain. So I'm very skeptical about things. And so like, I just don't know how much I believe that. And not that they're like trying to mislead. It could be an accident. I thought it was fixed foveated rendering. It could be DFR. Dynamic foveated rendering is the technical term, or eye tracked foveated rendering. Gazed base is where you point your head. Like gazed based interaction is what we used to call when you turn your head and you look at something, and when you're looking at it or facing it with your head, then it selects it. So I don't know. But Rachel the Game Cat says you can turn eye tracking off to check. Now that some of you have played this, maybe you can help me out of here a little bit, because there are a lot of things in the game that I still have unanswered for myself, like a couple things. But anyways, real quick, one of those things is actually has to do with also the aliens, the xenomorphs. On their website, they say that these are dynamic based spawns for the aliens. Now, my experience was very much going around, and it was like every minute you'd start to hear the rattling and the vents and everything, and then you get your guns ready or whatever, and you prepare. I did actually use my motion tracker a lot in this game. Everything, this game does have like everything mounted to your body, which I love. I'm so glad, like Metro Awakening, this game uses a lot of diegetic UI. Maybe not as much as Metro Awakening, because Metro Awakening was like, everything's in your backpack or it's on your hip. You think this has like some stuff on your arms, but it's kind of represented in like a little hologram or something on your thing. Look, it counts for me. It was very immersive. It felt great. It looked good to me. Full body IK, which I love always. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like, the realism or whatever, yeah, you're not going to usually see like a hologram. Usually you'd have like the physical object on your arm. That being said, I did actually I got a nice little chuckle out of how much they crammed on your arms. I've never seen a game where you had like your health on your wrist, and then on your forearm, you have your stim pack for health. On your bicep, you have your shoulder or whatever, you have your grenades. On this side, on your elbow, you have your motion tracker. Brian didn't even believe me. He still doesn't believe me to this day. Somebody go tell Brian that the motion tracker is on your elbow, because he doesn't even believe me. He's like, no, it's on your chest. I'm like, dude, it's on your elbow. It tells you it's on your elbow. And if you point your elbow up, it's literally sticking right there. He doesn't believe me. He won't believe anything I say ever. But anyways, I almost forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about the alien spawns. The alien spawns are supposed to be dynamic. And I thought that meant, okay, you can be slow and quiet. Make sure you turn off your flashlight. You do have a headlamp too. And like be slow, quiet, don't bump into anything. And you can get away, and you can, sneak by. They won't be spawning every minute. I thought that was the case. Here's the weird part, is that I tried moving slow. I tried moving stealthy. And most of the time, they just kept coming every minute. Sometimes I felt like when I didn't have ammo, that they weren't spawning. And then there was a time that I was doing something and they weren't spawning. And I was like, what? So if they are dynamically spawning, I have no idea how. And I'd really like to figure that out. I definitely plan on jumping back into this game some more. Listen, I'll be honest with you. When I finished this game, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know if I want to play that again. Like, I don't know if I want to go back into it. But my thoughts kind of settled on it. And I was like, no, like I do. Like now, because I have so many unanswered questions, and there's also a lot of extra secrets, there's some really cool extra things in this game hidden around. And if you're a big fan like I am, which I love seeing so many people out there that are like as passionate about aliens as I am, and just like, love and care about this franchise so much that we're willing to, endure several bad movies and still not hate it, which is more than I can say about Ghostbusters, by the way. I'm done with Ghostbusters for the most part. But anyways, I really want to get to the bottom of this, the spawning with the aliens, to see if there actually is some sort of way they react to you, or any of your actions actually do, because that's what's listed on the website. Because the only problem, the biggest problem I had with the spawning every minute, I'm okay with them spawning every minute, although I do think that's something that maybe should be for the harder difficulties. Kevin Russ asked, did I play on normal? Yes, I played on normal. And yes, there is an extreme difficulty and there is an insane difficulty. So there's two higher difficulties, which I think I would really like to jump back in and play. But usually when I play for review, I play on normal in most cases. But I do typically like a challenge. And to be honest with you, on normal, this game was very challenging. Like I said, there's because the minute them spawning every minute makes it very challenging. The only problem I have with them spawning so frequently is two things. Number one, I'm okay with kind of the stress that causes. You know, I don't mind games that can be stressful. To me, that's kind of fun, and it can be fun and challenging as long as it's fair. It's a little iffy here because, you know, you can run out of ammo. There's only manual saves, which, by the way, yeah, keep that in mind. You can only manual. Oh no, there are checkpoints. That there are auto saves, but they are far apart. So save often, which you do in those panic rooms. Save every chance you get. But I do worry about the potential of like saving in a really bad spot and then getting stuck in a really bad position. The good news there is that it does seem like if you get stuck, it will respawn some ammo for you in the panic rooms. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but just keep at it. You'll get through it. I thought I was going to get stuck once or twice, but I actually ended up getting through it just fine. And then I ended up with like more ammo than I could even carry. So you can replenish ammo. It does seem from the panic rooms. If you die a bunch or whatever, it will respawn. But anyways, you know, I heard some conversation about not using the motion tracker a whole bunch. And I disagree. Now, while I agree that you don't have to use the motion tracker, I do think it gives you an advantage. First of all, you can tell where they're coming from, which is really, really important. Plus, it's the motion tracker, man. It had to be there for part of the experience. Now, that's why they do this thing where it's like you can use the motion tracker, but they've rigged it so that when stuff is coming, it just beeps for you. Aliens Fire Team Elite did the same thing. It gives you like a little beep, just to let you know that, hey, something's coming. Shit's about to hit the fan. But to me, part of the fun is using the motion tracker there. And I did use it while going through vents, and it just helps give you that experience. Now, before I get to the next thing I want to talk about, Pietrek F asked, AJ, why didn't you give your review score in the video? I have an answer for you there. I wanted to. It was originally in there. I know there was one thing about my review that I was like, I wanted to defiantly say Aliens to me is a 9 out of 10. This is an amazing game. Yes, it's not perfect. And yes, it's not perfect or whatever. Yes, there's some things that like I wish was done a little bit differently, or there's all sorts of little things that I could ask for, which we'll get to when I get to what I want from part 2. The reason my score was not in my review was because it was chopped out. And the reason it was chopped out is because I stayed up until 2 a.m. and I had to work the next morning. Now, as some of you guys know, I work a full-time job, so I don't really have a lot of free time, and I do my best to keep up with a lot of these people that make a living off YouTube, or have jobs that are give them a little bit more freedom to do this stuff, are younger, have more energy. I had it in there, but I was editing this video really like as best as I could. And just the delivery of my score at the end just sounded really weird. Like it was something like, it was like, I know people aren't going to, maybe not everyone's going to agree, but I'm going to give Aliens a 9 out of 10. And I will stand by that, by the way. I still stand by that. I don't care what anyone else thinks. You're asking my opinion and you're asking my experience. This is the thing. VR games are different. You like people are giving opinions from different platforms, different experiences. I'm not saying that what anyone else experienced with this game is invalid or anything. No, it's opinions, man. Everyone's got different opinions, but also people have different experiences. Maybe I'm lucky. I don't know. But I had a freaking amazing experience with this game. I did not encounter many bugs. I had maybe 2 very, very minor bugs throughout the entire game. I had 0 crashes. Nothing felt really that janky to me. Yes, I think maybe once or twice, like I picked up a box and it bugged out a little bit. Like it freaked out, which I've seen before and stuff, even in like Red Matter. That's happened to me in Red Matter. You don't hear people saying 4 out of 10 Red Matter, a box bugged out. That's literally like what my experience was. Everything worked fine and everything worked as intended for me in this game. And my critiques are more a little bit about some of the small design choices, things here and there. But the reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 is because this is, I think, in my opinion, in terms of a VRAF game, this game crushes the VRAF mechanics. Now, I've often said many, many times that I care more about content than I do every last little box, plate, whatever being interactable. And that is true. But this, having played like Alien Isolation, having played Aliens Fireteam Elite in VR, this gave me something different. This was a super VRAF designed, built for VR experience on top of a game. Content wise, yeah, you can definitely find where it's a little bit weaker, especially compared to like a hybrid game. But I don't think, to me personally, the differences are not that big. Like even playing Aliens Fireteam Elite, you're going around, it's like Left 4 Dead with aliens, and it's amazing, by the way. You're just going around shooting aliens the whole time. Like it's all around the same stuff. Alien Isolation, you're surviving. You know, it's more survival. It's terrifying. This is a different one. This is a more cinematic, story-driven campaign. And I'm not going to spoil any of the cinematic stuff here, because there's only a couple. And that's something that I mentioned. I wish there was a little bit more. But those couple of cinematic moments in this, holy shit. I was watching Miles Dyer stream earlier, and it was so much fun watching him play. He did a great stream of it. Maybe don't watch the last 30 minutes of it or so, maybe the last second half of it if you haven't played it yet, because there are some spoilers. But like, my God, some of the cinematic stuff they do here is really, really cool, really unique. And it's the kind of thing that, maybe, like, it may not impress some people that, want big explosions and stuff. There are like some explosive moments in this though. But yeah, a lot of the times with VR games, it's like, sometimes it's missing a lot of that like cinematic stuff. This is one of the reasons that made, the biggest thing I could compare is like, this is one of the things that made like Resident Evil Village extremely special, is it was like a cutscene, but it's like you're experiencing the cutscene from first person. And Resident Evil Village gave no shits. It just threw you around and did all that stuff, explosions, flying up in the air, flying across the room. I want more of that, man. I love stuff like that, where they take the training wheels off and they say, no, listen, this game is made for VR players, like people that are accustomed to it. This is not something that you want to be, this is not something you want to be your first VR game, especially if you're prone to motion sickness and stuff. I love that stuff. But this game is super VR AF, and there is so much stuff to interact with. There's so much attention to detail in the world. This was something I pointed out in my review. And, you know, like I said, it made me backtrack and go, you know what? I do think that it holds some merit and value having this, being able to be immersed in this world with the most amazing lighting and set pieces. And but there is something to be said about a game that maybe doesn't have the extremely long depth or variety, but in return gives you something completely different that you can only do and experience with VR, and that is like the VR AFness. I had mentioned, you know, being able to knock over coffee pots and plates, and I shit you not, I was literally running around. I couldn't find the clip. I was trying to include this clip in my review, but there was a clip where I had a frying pan in one hand and a pulse rifle in the other, and I was like, "Bring it on, Xenos!" And I was just, dude, I was having fun, man. Like this game is really, this is what people like a lot about VR games is like, you'll notice this. And this is stuff that people notice with like Half-Life Alyx, with like Batman VR. A lot of the time it's like we focus, because we're gamers, right? A lot of us are like hardcore gamers. We've grown up gaming our entire life. So we like want that, but in VR, which is true. But this is the thing that makes VR special is like, you'll see people talking about Batman and you'll see the clips online of people going, "Oh, look at the way the fingers move." Like, "Oh, that's amazing." Like the fingers, they bend against the wall, or, "Oh my God, you can open up this box or something." Hold on. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. That made me laugh a little bit and choke. But yeah, people will be like, "Oh, look at the fingers," because VR games at their best are really fun to like explore and mess with. You know, I think if you're not going to go the full, like, you know, flat screen to VR route, I think this highlights what the best of VR can do. And it's place you in that world, immerse you in it, lets you know what it looks like from inside the world, but also what it feels like. And again, this is why I'm like, why the hell would anybody really play this on PC other than you don't have a PSVR2 and a PS5? That's understandable. But why would you play this on PC? You're missing out on some of the best stuff this has to offer with the haptics and adaptive triggers. And being able to reach out and feel this world and interact with it and touch it is really, really special to me. It's super cool, man. As a lifelong Alien fan, it just felt really, really special. And I was like, man, like, yeah, like if I was in the alien world, this is what it would feel like. Like, this is pretty cool. I feel like if you were just a random colonial marine, you'd be in these shitty situations too and have to deal with it. And only the strong survive. And that being said, like I also wanted to add, I'm not going to get into any of the story spoilers, but the voice acting, the dialogue, everything, magnificent job. Really, really excellent voice acting. Great like dialogue, great voiceovers. That's not something you can really say for a lot of games. You know, stuff has really good, dude, the sound design. I was banging my head on the wall for not talking about the sound design, because oh my God, but that is kind of a given. Sometimes it's like, but dude, I don't even think I answered Pietrex's question. I'm sorry if I didn't, but anyways, long story short, I'll keep it short and sweet. I was up till 2 a.m. getting this review done because I knew, like, I didn't have to do this review. I wanted to, because this was personal to me. This game was a big deal to me, is a big deal to me. And I had a feeling that a lot of people I just had this gut feeling that maybe people weren't going to be crazy about it. And I'm like, no, I love this game. Like, no, this is legit. This is awesome. Yes, there's some ways it could be better. Of course, every game can. But I was like, no, like I'm not going to let this game get steamrolled over, because this is a big deal to me. This is really important. And I think for everyone out there, you know, I really wanted to be that person that represents the voice of the people here and be like, no, this is really, really good. And for me, when I spend at least 5 hours, 6 hours with the game and I'm just like amazed, yeah, that's enough for me to justify my 9 out of 10. I will be shocked if people don't play through the first 2 hours of this and be like, this is amazing. Everybody I've seen so far has been saying the same thing, which is first 2 hours, absolutely like amazed so far. Some stuff may reveal itself later. Some stuff may cause some frustration. Yes. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm really looking forward to hearing more other people's impressions. But this was amazing, man. This was amazing to me. And, I really, really, I was not expecting it to be a part 1 of 2. I will say that part 2 is going to be tricky, because I don't think they should do the same thing. Like part 2 needs to be completely different. Like this was great for what it is. I definitely will probably, if I get a chance, go back and dive a little deeper into it, explore a little bit more, experiment with some of the mechanics a little bit more, some of the lore, some of the story secrets that you can uncover. The biggest strength for this game by far is the interactive like VR mechanics. You know, I mentioned in the review, like for me, it was mind blowing. Grabbing a face hugger and like dancing around with it. I was having so much fun there, and it's so freaking gross. And I was just like, oh, like this is awesome, but but it was so cool though. But dude, like even like the computer terminals using the joysticks, that joystick thing, I didn't really go into that much, but man, I literally read the reason this game took me 10 hours is because I explored every single thing I possibly could, when I wasn't, you know, it's hard to explore this game though, because you're constantly being attacked. So it doesn't really give you much time. You have to really plan it out. And that's, you know, it's both a good and bad thing. I think it's cool because like, you know, it forces you to keep moving, and survivors keep moving, as we always know. It forces you to kind of keep moving and, you know, strategize a little bit. It doesn't just let you, this is not a power trip. No, you are definitely up against some pretty, heavy odds here. But I think it tells a great story, a pretty good story actually, which again is something that's pretty rare. I don't know if this story is going to resonate with everybody. It's if you know nothing about aliens or Alien, then like this story is not going to mean jack shit to you. And I don't even know if this game would be very good for you. This game is definitely for fans of aliens, and that's what I love about it. And as myself being a big Alien fan, you know, that's why this game resonated with me so much. And I'm really, really happy that I got to experience this. I really think, dude, Servios, man, I haven't it's been years since I've been like really happy with a Servios game. I thought Servios was going to be one of the premier VR developers for a long time. You know, it was just kind of like disappointment or underwhelming game after underwhelming game. I loved Raw Data. You guys should bring that to PSVR2 as well, by the way. And I loved Sprint Vector. Also should bring that back to PSVR2, please. Those were like fantastic, and those were way ahead of their time. But then we had releases like Battle Wake, which was, you know, underwhelming. Puzzle Bobble, not fun. Walking Dead Onslaught, big disappointment. And this is kind of the opposite for me of Walking Dead Onslaught. This is like the game, the way that it's designed at its core is pretty sweet. Walking Dead Onslaught was like broken up into all these weird pieces and just lost immersion constantly. And It was just not very good. It got better after it got updated, but it was still just a mediocre campaign. This, like, to me, this game fixed a lot of the stuff I disliked about Onslaught. And I think this is Survios' best game that I've played in so many years. And you have no idea how long I've been waiting to say that. It feels really good to say that. So real quick, Survios, this one's for you. Great job. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. But yeah, one other thing, something that doesn't get mentioned here. I don't know, man. No, I don't think anybody else has mentioned this, but there's a lot of stuff that other games get critiqued about that gets no mention here, despite this game doing it. I don't know if I saw one loading screen this entire game. There's a couple moments where it fades to black, but they do it well. They do it really, really well, where it's like you pass out or you're unconscious or something. They do it in a way where it's like it keeps the story going, and it's not just like loading, like I'm running into this. Oh, hold on, loading bar. Nobody has mentioned this. Why has nobody talked about that? I don't think there's a single freaking loading screen in this game. That's a big deal. That's a really, really subtle thing, maybe, but that's a really big deal, and just shows you the care that they put into like just trying to keep this like as VR as possible. That's a really cool, small little detail there. But yeah, man. Okay, I've missed so many of your comments. I usually love to read your comments. I'm sorry, but I have a lot more that I wanted to say about this game that I couldn't cram into my short review. And I think I still haven't answered Pietrek's question. Tune in next week to hear why my review didn't have a score at the end. No, long story short, like I said, I just ran out of time, and my score didn't fit, and I had to chop it out. And I regret it. But you know what? It's just every single review I do, every single thing. You know, I'm not the best reviewer out there. That definitely goes to Brian. But you know, I do my best with the little time that I have, and that's why I didn't have a score at the end. I wanted it to, I just couldn't make it. It just sounded really tacked on. So instead, it's in a comment, which is stupid, I know. But I was happy with the review overall, despite not having a score. But I really wanted to be that one person that was like, this is a 9 out of 10. This game is amazing. Everybody else, F off. I will stand here and you can, you know, it's like, it's fine. And again, not saying other people's opinions aren't valid. It is, you got to remember, some people are reviewing it on different platform or on PC as well, though. So keep that in mind, because PC performance does not always equal PSVR2 performance. For a $500 console, what PSVR2 is capable of on a PS5 is insane. You cannot get this kind of performance out of a $500 PC. No way. Maybe, I don't know. PCs are kind of changing, but no. Anyways, there's literally things that are better on a $500 console that are on a PC. I did give some love to VR Grid as well, giving it a 8.5. Shout out to VR Grid. I was like, thank God somebody else liked this, because I'm like, dude, this is amazing, man. Like why is this not getting the love and attention it deserves? But I think it will. I think, and the game, like I said, is not buggy. It's not like, we've had so many games that are like unfinished, buggy, blah, blah, blah. This game is actually in a really good state at launch, ready. And I really appreciated that as well. All right, let's handle some tips real quick. Let me get some water. Thank you, Mark Poppins Pringles Leaf. I appreciate you, man. You guys are also the most wonderful community, and I appreciate you as well, man. JPEG JW, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Says, can't wait to play Alien Rogue Incursion soon. By the way, Steam winter sale just started, and Alien Isolation is $10. Should I play in VR with Mother VR mod? Alien Isolation is probably the best Aliens. Dude, it's the best thing to happen to Aliens in decades. Like, to me, you have to have Alien Isolation. You have to have Alien Fireteam Elite with UEVR if your computer can run it. And you need this game in your life as well. These 3 games are better than any of the movies in the past 40 years. Like, they tell better stories. They have better characters. Literally, Alien Isolation, you play as Ellen Ripley's daughter. Spoiler. Like, it's like actual canon, and it's amazing. It's a great game. But good God, man, bring your brown pants, because it is scary as hell. It is so scary and stressful, but the good kind of scary, stressful. This game, which a lot of people were happy about, this is not a stressful. Well, this game has its stressful moments. It's got some stress. It's got a little bit of frustration. But to me, it's kind of like the good stress and frustration. It leans more towards that. There's a little bit of annoying stuff in this game. One thing in particular, one of my biggest gripes with the constant spawn of the aliens is that sometimes the reason I know it's excessive and maybe isn't completely functioning the proper way is because sometimes I'm trying to listen, like it'll have me grab a key card or a floppy disk or whatever that thing is and put it into my PDF, and then it tells the story. It's like trying to deliver some exposition, and like the aliens are showing up, and I'm like, this can't be right. This cannot be right, because it's literally I'm trying to listen to the exposition, the story, the dialogue, the events that took place, and then there's aliens showing up, and I'm having to kill them, and I can't hear what's going on with it. That to me is the biggest flaw with the aliens spawning too much. They need to do something. They need to either on normal, they need to tweak it to 5 minutes instead of every minute, or they need to actually make it dynamic in that, like, hey, you can sneak around and be quiet, turn off your flashlight, and aliens aren't going to come. They need to fix this. That is something that needs to be fixed for sure. But anyways, tips. JPQ, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Yes, get Alien Isolation. Absolutely. It's like I said, it's one of the best things to come out of the Alien franchise in 40 years. Santace Gamer, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Says, if you have to choose between Metro, Behemoth, Alien, or Starship Troopers, what would it be? I'll have to tune back in for your answer. Okay. First of all, cut out Starship Troopers, because I think of these 3, that is the only one that's like not a must-have. And then go buy these other 3. You need to buy Metro. You need to buy Behemoth. You need to buy Alien. If you're not, I mean, unless these just absolutely aren't your thing, or if you're easily frustrated, or whatever. But if you're a VR savvy gamer and a hardcore gamer, dude, get all 3 of these games. Metro is going on sale tomorrow. But dude, like Metro, Behemoth, and Alien are all 3 must-haves. Starship Troopers could be as well. I love Starship Troopers, the original movie, but I haven't played it yet, so I'm not going to say anything on that, but I think that's probably going to be not a must-have like these are. These are, these games aren't perfect. Metro, Behemoth, Alien, they're not perfect. They have their pros and cons, but they are, in my opinion, absolutely all 3 must-haves. You need them in your library. Mischievous Marco says, rank them 1 through 3. Damn, I don't know if I could right now, man. I've got too much recency bias with Alien. I don't know, man. They're all like mid 8s, upper 9, like mid 8s, low 9s, or mid 8 to 9 to me. They're like really all in the same area, so it's tough, man. Too much pressure, man. I'll have to get back to you guys later. I'm probably gonna make a top 10 PSVR2 games of 2024, and you will have your answer there if I can get to it in time. Thank you so much for the donation, Santace Gamer. I hope that answered your question sufficient enough. But yeah, buy Alien, buy Metro, buy Behemoth. JPEG Q with another donation. Thank you so much. Says, tell us about your new PC, the Beast specs. Okay, I will make a note here, JPEG. And I will tell you all about my PC here in just a moment. And I'll even throw in some Aliens Fireteam Elite in UEVR. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get to this next part, and then I'll answer your question after that. But thank you so much for the donation. Okay, guys. So real quick, you guys are the absolute best, man. I honestly want to keep talking about just more stuff from Alien. I'm trying to think if there's any. I'm sure there's something else that I missed, but don't worry, because we're gonna be I think next time I'm on Gamescast, I know Brian's been really dying to like talk to me, which is crazy to hear him say. I love you, Brian. But hearing you say, dude, I need to talk to you about Alien, I'm like, you need to talk to me? What? Excuse me? Can you say that again so I can record that and have actual proof of you saying this? We're gonna have a discussion at some point about Alien some more. So we're not done yet, but dude, like I said, get Aliens, enjoy it. Like, explore, take your time. If you're a big fan of Aliens, that's a big part of here. If you're not a fan of Alien, then I don't think this game is going to have the same impact. I think you might not even like this game if you're not a big fan of Alien. But if you're a big fan of Alien, you have to get this on PSVR2, on PS5. Don't get the PC version. How can you play this game without haptics and headset rumble? I'm like, I'm gonna jam this pen into my neck. Like, come on, man. I'm freaking out because I'm just like, you knew there was gonna be headset haptics for this game. Which is so cool, by the way. When those aliens mess you up, they just that feels so good. All the haptics adaptive triggers, I think, feel great. Some people were also talking about the weird like gun bob thing. That was funny because that's not something I even noticed the entire game. People are like, oh, when you run the gun bobs, I'm like, really? I guess so. I just know that I was running with a motion tracker and a pulse rifle in one hand, and the lighting is beautiful, and there's shit chasing me, and I'm running to the panic room, and I'm like, this really feels like Aliens. That was so like, I don't know. And the bob, the gun bob isn't that kind of iconic with like people running with that thing? It fits, man. It fits. There's a lot of stuff. There are some things I let go. The sale is live now. Nice. But anyways, guys, I want to talk about what I want to see from part 2. One of the biggest surprises of Alien Rogue Incursion was that, and thank God it's not a roguelike, by the way. Oh, could you imagine if this game was a roguelike? Jesus. Dude, thank God it is a cinematic, story-driven experience. Little bit less cinematic, a little bit more VRAF experience. But anyways, great tantrum. Good to see you, man. Also, JB, your secret is still safe with me, my friend. I still remember your real name, Mo Trucka. Congrats on your PS5. Let's go, baby. And your PSVR2. Okay, I want to talk about what I want to see from a part 2. So I'm not going to mention what's in the first game, but I am going to be mentioning what's not in the first game. So spoilers, inverted spoilers. I might spoil the game here by telling you what is not in it. So be careful. If you don't want to hear that, you have been warned. Spoilers. I'm doing the wax on and wax off for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. So now begins the potentially spoiler section of what I want to see in a part 2. So first of all, like I said, I love this game, and although I was like worried about them saying it's a part 1, luckily this is plenty of game to keep you occupied. But that being said, They cannot repeat the same thing with part 2. No, I don't think I'd want, if part 2 is too similar to this, that's going to be kind of annoying. Because some of the things that I wanted to see in here did not make it in. There are some other things that were unexpected that were really nice. But one, yes, everybody in the chat already knows what's up. Like, where's my flamethrower, dude? Where is my flamethrower? I need a flamethrower in part 2. That is an absolute must. That is something you get in Aliens Fireteam Elite and Alien Isolation, and it is awesome. It's also iconic. Another thing is the variety of aliens here. I was one of the, like, I want to call it a disappointment. I was okay with it, but I would have liked to see more types of aliens. You can get creative with it. There's plenty of way to get creative. Ooh, grenade launcher too, Steve Irie. That's a good one. One thing that's cool about Alien Fireteam Elite is like there's all sorts of different types of aliens. Now again, that's more of like a horde, Left 4 Dead kind of thing. But they throw in spitter aliens at you, which I don't think I remember a spitter before. Maybe I remember exploding aliens. I don't remember spitter alien. There's spitter aliens. There's like the I don't know if they're warriors or like, no, the warriors are the regular ones. Right? I think so. There's like these big, bulky, monstrous, even bigger aliens that are in those. They've got ones that are like lurkers or crawlers. I don't remember what they're called. But they were like red and they crawl and they prowler. I was gonna say they like prowl on you. There's prowlers. I hope to see. I want more alien variety here. Instead of the part that kind of hurts Alien Rogue Incursion is it's literally just 2 or 3 aliens of the same one just coming every single time. And that was it gets repetitious. It's not going to work in a second game to do this all over again. It's not going to work. It's going to be really bad if they do that again. Unless there was like more of a dynamic system to it, but there's not. It doesn't seem like, anyways. It's supposed to be, but it's not. I'd like a couple more alien variety, although I will say they're, the main aliens you see, the majority of the game, are not the only types of aliens. There is maybe something else. And of course there's face huggers, which are awesome. I'd like more sections of like fighting with face huggers. Like, that's the thing. Like, it didn't always just have to be the same 2 aliens coming to attack me every minute. They need to figure out something there for the second part 2. They need to figure out something there. Also, I need to blast an alien out an airlock, like something awful. No, I'm sorry. That's okay. That would be cool. I need to fight an alien with a loader. The big machine with the yellow tubes and everything, or the yellow poles, metal frame. And I need to beat the shit out of an alien or multiple aliens. I want to beat the shit out of aliens with that thing, with one of those until you survive long enough and then their acid blood eventually wears out your loader suit and then you have to get out of it again. That or beat the game with it. One of those 2 things needs to happen. Something I didn't mention, something else that got chopped out of my review. Dude, I gotta say this real quick. I loved the grenades. Oh my God. The grenades are the coolest thing ever. That's why I put it on the front of my review, because visually, they're so pleasing. But they're also really great because you can pull them off your arm, pull the thing up, throw them down. I told you I was going to miss something. I love the proximity grenades. Use them. Make sure you use them in the game. Elderly Morningstar, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate you. Says thank you for another good review. Thank you. And I did see your other message. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. And I was going to respond to it, but I'm glad that you're here, that I can just say thank you here. So I do read everything, try to read everything that everyone sends me, and I did see that. Thank you so much. I just hadn't responded yet, but I was going to, I promise. But it means a lot. Much love. Thank you. So something else they could do with the second game is, I would like to see a little bit more variety of environments. They could do some really cool stuff. I want to go outside more. If it's still going to be on the same base, I actually want to go outside, even if it's on that snowy, harsh ass planet. I'd like to go outside a little bit more. I really enjoyed some of the fighting. Now, you do get to fight a little bit outside, which was so needed. If the entire game was, that's one of my favorite parts about. That's one of my favorite parts about Alien Rogue Incursion, is when I got to fight aliens outside in the snow. Visually, it's something new that you just don't see a lot. And that's one of the strengths of Alien Fireteam Elite, is like, there's places where you're in like caves and you're in like these ancient temples and stuff. You could do that with the sequel. Give us some new scenery that's really, really cool. And, you could make it really awesome. It's nice. It breaks up the monotony, and visually it's nice. And it is something new to experience fighting xenomorphs on a like outside or a different setting other than these little tiny corridors. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the corridors. They're iconic. They're like it wouldn't be Aliens without the corridors. But man, like, I could, like, let's get creative here. Let's put our creative juice caps on and like not have to just stick to all the same stuff over and over. Throw in some new surprises. The snowy planet here was a welcome new addition that went a long way. Let me get some more stuff outside. Give me the daytime outside with clear and snow, at night with a storm, all this stuff. Mark Poppin Previously says, what about bringing multiplayer? They could. I don't think you have to. Multiplayer would be cool, but listen, man, last time Servios tried to add multiplayer was Walking Dead Onslaught. Let's not retread that ground. Let's let them let them develop to their strengths, which is VRAF. They did a really great job with that. Everything from, like I said, the computer terminals, wiping the blood off the screen. I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. Everything was so interactive. I loved it. And I really liked the story. Like, I want to see, I need something good with the story. I need like the one thing about part one that I'd really like to see improved with part two is like the story climax stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Part one has its moments. There's a couple moments that come to mind that were phenomenal. But I wanted more of that. And I need more like story arc, more like cinematic moments. I need more explosions, in places, and just like, crazy things that happen that are intense and look great. And, hopefully in part two, we blow up everything and, and it's awesome or whatnot. But yeah, man, like, honestly, I don't really like have that many other things that I need from the sequel. I would love to get a flamethrower. It's honestly not like a must have as much. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think the number one thing that they need to do for part two is the aliens. They need to either fix the dynamic spawns of them, or they need to start introducing some different variety of them or something. It's just the system they have, I think, works great for this game, but I don't think beyond this game it's going to work. They need to tweak it or something. That's the number one thing. And also, yeah, throw in some different types of xenomorphs. That would be cool. Maybe, or enemies. Like Alien Isolation had humans and androids that you fought against. Same with Aliens Fireteam Elite. These things made those games really, really good. Put some of those in this. This is really good, but has a lot of room to grow and be better as well. I really liked the Android Davis 01 in this part 1. But yeah, story arcs. I need some epic story arcs that happen here. I would love a flamethrower. You gotta put me in a loader, man. You gotta. How freaking cool would it be to be in a loader and fight aliens, dude? Please, Servios, I beg of you. That would be so cool. I mean, VR, having the arms, controlling the arms like a mech, dude, that would be so cool. Yeah, and some other, just like, again, get creative with it. Some things where, you know, you blow up a room, or you have to trap them in a certain room with some equipment or something. I don't know. Mix it up a little bit. A little bit more like action puzzles or something. But yeah. And then of course, I think of course, for part 2, a chainsaw. Well, I would love a chainsaw, but you literally get to kill one alien with that chainsaw and then it'd be gone. But yeah, man, Queen. Yeah, like let's fight a queen. Let's fight a queen in part 2. Now again, there is a boss fight in part 1. And I don't know how people are gonna feel about that boss fight. I told Brian, I was like, hey man, you've still got a little bit more to go. But there's a boss fight. And he was like, ooh, boss fight? And I was like, honestly, I think you're gonna hate this boss fight because I know you. I thought it was pretty good though. It worked. It was creative, and I like that. It had some cool stuff with it. But I want to fight the queen, man. I want to fight a queen where you have to, you know, she's big ass queen, and then you're going around, you got to destroy parts of her here, parts of her here. Every now and then more xenomorphs come out. You got to deal with them, and then you kill some face huggers in the process, and then you go back to killing the queen until she's finally dead, and then you blow the place up. This has to happen too. So this along with a cool story arc for the main character Zula, which I like the main character. I think voice actor's great. You know, just being a random Marine, I think is the best possible thing that could just throw you in there. That works really, really well. But yeah, I think these are the main important things that I would like to see from part 2. I don't ask too much, right? It's not too many things. It's probably so incredibly difficult to do these things, but anyways. Kick Hudson Ripley, love the name, says Contra did the queen fight many times. Yes, it did. Actually, funny that you mentioned, because yeah, the part 2 apparently is supposed to be DLC. I don't really know. It sounds like it might actually just be DLC. So to me, it seems like they maybe ran out of time, money, and they were just like, look, we got to get this. We have to meet our production here. The game is we already knew about it for like 3 years. So yeah, I want all the DLCs, but man, okay. We got one final donation here. Dude, all I gotta say is this, man. I was gonna say Fox Interactive, but I don't even think it's Fox Interactive. It's Disney now. Holy shit. Is this a Disney game? Oh my God. Disney owns Fox now, right? So this is technically Disney. Where's my fucking Mickey Mouse logo on my Aliens game? I want a Mickey Mouse logo on this. That's what I want on part 2. It needs a part 2 and just show Mickey Mouse. And then a Mickey Mouse busts out of somebody's chest and he's like, ho ho, on the splash screen when the game's loading up. Can I have that, please? What the hell? Anyways, final tip before we get out of here, guys. Waleed is a game cat. Senator Tiger, specifically a white tiger. Thank you so much for the donation. It says, where can I get a PC adapter in Canada or even the US? As far as I know, PlayStation.com. If it's not on PlayStation, it should be on Amazon. Drunk. Oh, I love you guys. You should be able to get a PC adapter anywhere. Actually, I hope you can, because I need to buy I might buy a PC adapter for my friend that I'm selling my PC to, which actually reminds me, before we get out of here too, I need to answer JPEG's PC question. But real quick, Mark Poppin' Previous Leaf says, AJ, do you think Servios could cut the game to get it out for launch? Then the DLC will be the rest of the game. AJ, do you think Servios could have cut the game to get it out for launch, then the DLC will be the rest of the game? Yeah, I think that could be what happened here a little bit. They said that they already have an idea or whatever for part 2. They already know their game plan for it. I hope it's in line for what we talked about tonight. Here's what they need to do. Disney needs to give these guys more money. Give Servios more money, Disney, so that they can make us a bigger, better part 2. That's what we need. We need more epic cinematic moments, more explosions. We need to fight Queen Alien. We need to fight aliens from a loader. We need a flamethrower. We need variety of aliens and a dynamic spawning system. And more explosions, please. That's what we need from part 2. Disney, give Servios more money to do this. You have my blessing to do so. But anyways, JPEG Q PC question. So I did allude to this before. Guys, and I'll throw in a little bit more aliens talk for you here. My PC arrived recently. I didn't even get to open it until last night because I wanted to get my Subside. As much I need to play through Aliens and Subside. I told you I don't have a lot of free time, so I do the best with the little time I have. And my PC got here last night, and I have unleashed the beast. I got my dream PC. I'm broke after getting it, but I'll be okay. Appreciate everybody that supports the channel. But I got a 4090, so a little bonus round, a little Christmas bonus for you guys. To quickly talk about my new PC a little bit. I got my dream PC, a 7800 X3D AMD CPU, and I'll get some other stuff here, so this isn't just playing over and over. Sorry about if that's repetitious. And I got a RTX 4090. I got the 4090, you guys. I got that. But not only that, I got a 4 terabyte SSD and 64 gigs of RAM. I got the best PC you can literally buy right now. And I got it from this place called Andromeda Insights. And I was very scared to do this because this is a fairly new place. The only criticism I saw of this place was that they're new, and so they don't have a ton of reviews. Luckily, there are resources where you can find the answers to these things, and somebody said that they had bought from Andromeda Insight, seemed okay. And they also had Amazon reviews that were all 5 stars. So this PC, while it was not cheap, it was way cheaper and it was such a good deal compared to everywhere else. I waited until Black Friday to go for a PC shopping. That was a bad idea. As it turns out, everybody knows people are going to buy stuff on Black Friday, so they jack up the prices and then they discount it $100 and they're like, it's on sale, Black Friday. Or they just don't put it on sale. They just say it's on sale. And dude, it was rough, man. I was losing hope really, really fast that I was going to find my dream PC because I really wanted it. And if I wasn't going to get my dream PC, then I was going to end up getting like a 4070 Ti Super, which would be fine. But I wanted my dream PC. And I will say right now, I am not upgrading for years. I don't give a shit that next gen is right around the corner, 5090, whatever. That's fine. I don't care. And what I've learned is that I don't even think I would need that anyways. Before I got my PC, I had a 4060 Ti, and I'm very, very proud of everything I learned with that, and was able to, like, you know, learn, because I had to learn PC gaming, and I had to learn PC gaming, and I had to learn VR on PC. VR on PC is a monster. Like gaming on a PC is already a learning curve, but having to do VR on a PC, and especially with mods, it is a nightmare at first. But I spent almost this entire year learning everything I could. Luckily, I have an IT background, and I have lots of experience with PC. So while gaming was new to me on PC, I was able to kind of figure things out. And I learned a lot over the last 10 months. And so now I've got my 4090 here, and this is the biggest difference I've noticed so far. Now, granted, I've only just scratched the surface with this, so I haven't spent a ton of time with it yet. I have a lot more to tweak and mess with and see what I can do. But one thing I can tell you is the first thing I tried. Listen, I bought this PC because I want to play UEVR, and I want to play some Luke Ross mods like Cyberpunk 2077, which I did pick up, by the way. I have not played it yet though, but I'm going to, because honestly, Cyberpunk 2077 was my most anticipated game for like 10 years. And then by the time it came out, I was into VR. I didn't care anymore, and it was a mess at launch. And so, like, I just by chance have benefited from this in the best way possible by basically the game I wanted my entire life is now fully, like, enhanced, and I can play it in VR too. Holy shit. Yes, please. So I'm really excited. Once things slow down, maybe early, maybe Q1 or something, I'll start streaming that. But what I did test out so far is I, of course, played Spyro the Dragon first. And the biggest difference I've seen with playing with a PSVR2 on PC from a 4060 to a 4090 is performance. Yes, there are some graphical enhancements, slightly better resolution. But the biggest thing here is going from 45 or from 90 reprojected using 45 and interpolation to 90 frames per second is now like I can play it with like native 90. And that, honestly, I was like really happy just with my 4060 Ti. I was really happy being able to play Returnal, Ghostwire Tokyo, Spyro the Dragon, all these games with like, lower medium settings and then 90 reprojected. Until I played this last night, and I was like, holy shit, native frame rate does make a huge difference in clarity, in smoothness, in comfort. Yes, I did say Spyro Blue Chew. That native frame rate made such a huge difference. It's kind of mind-blowing. And I was able to play Spyro max settings, ultra, everything ultra, 90 frames per second, pretty high resolution. I think the Quest 3 still has an advantage. Here's the thing about this is why you guys, this is why I say all VR is awesome, and why you still need, if possible, like I personally, I like the PSVR 2 more than the Quest as a PC headset because of the OLED screen. It is, wow, is the PSVR 2 a good PC headset? But for compatibility, for ease of use, you can actually play more games easier with a lesser PC on a weaker PC with a Quest 3 and make it look good without having to sacrifice the quality, because the Quest 3 has a really awesome thing, some compatibility software. In particular, I'm talking about virtual desktop. If you have a really good router, the virtual link cable. I think that sucks. I don't know how anybody on planet Earth can actually play a Quest plugged in. It is awful. My experience has been absolutely god awful wired Quest with anything. But with virtual desktop, a really good router, which I have, and the wireless connectivity, it is amazing. And it also has this thing with virtual desktop. What makes it special is that it has this in the software, in the user interface. The virtual desktop has like an image sharpener, and it actually does this using the hardware that's in the Quest. So like you're running off a PC, but this genius work that went into this is that it actually utilizes the Quest hardware to give it a boost and can add sharpening filters, and you can play games in like 2K resolution, 4K resolution, even on a lesser PC. You can play stuff like you can get away with on my 4060 Ti, like Returnal and like a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if you'd be able to play. You probably wouldn't be able to play Cyberpunk, but you can play like, you know, Returnal, Ghostwire, some other things with like looking pretty good and decent performance. But that's been the biggest difference here. Is that now that's why I got this thing, because I love playing with my PSVR2 and for the OLED, and now I can play all these AAA games with native frame rate, and I can crank the settings. There are limitations to it, but one of those games I will say, one of those games I played last night was Aliens Fireteam Elite, which is one of my favorite UEVR games. That game is so good and a lot of fun. But I loved playing Aliens Fireteam Elite. I tested that out. And of course, Returnal. Returnal was incredible with like 90 frames per second native. And it was kind of like going between like it would spike. You know, PC gaming is not as stable as PS5. You know, that's what makes PS5 special, is you just plug it in, you turn it on, and you launch the game. You purchase the game with your hard-earned money, you support the developers, and then you just launch the game. And guess what? It works. And it works well. And in some cases, it even looks better. And guess what? It's $500 for the PS5. So there's huge advantage to having, but I've kind of grown to the point where I'm like, I like it all, man. I want the best of all the worlds. So I've got my Quest 3, which I've only played Batman on, because I just love my PSVR 2 and using it with PC. And so I'll be mostly playing PSVR 2 on PS5, PSVR 2 PC, because yeah, I want to play mods. I want everything I can't play on PS5. I want Cyberpunk in VR. I want Aliens Fireteam Elite in VR. I want Returnal in VR, Sackboy, Spyro, all these things. So it's going to be a fun ride. That's all I can say. Buckle up, buckaroos, because it's going to be a wild, fun ride, and I can't wait. I have a lot of setup I got to do with my PC. And then, of course, part of the financing for that was selling this PC, my 4060 Ti. That's the PC I'm currently using. I sold this to help pay for it. I sold a lot of stuff. Did my first sponsored videos, which was for Arizona Sunshine Remake and Metro. Yes. They weren't sponsored by the developers, though. They were sponsored by just a company that said, just make a video. Doesn't matter. You can shit on it all you want. But luckily, I tried to be smart about it. I was like, okay, if I got to make a sponsored video, at least these are really good games, so I don't feel like it doesn't feel bad. No. Also, really appreciate it. But yeah, I use that to help. Actually, you know, I don't usually discuss this stuff, but I use that to help pay for this PC too. But the other exception was that for one of those sponsored video for the Arizona Sunshine remake, I donated all that to charity. which again, I'm not going to always give you the behind the scenes here. I'm not going to always let you know because quite, it's really my personal stuff. But I did donate one of those sponsored videos, all of it to animal shelters and hurricane relief. We had some bad hurricanes that hit the South, and I did it in the name of my my recent dog that passed away, my rock boy. I did it in his name, and over Thanksgiving, and it was it felt good, man. I did it in Rock's name, my dog of 14 years, best friend, and was the hardest day of my life losing him. So I said, I'll take this sponsorship, but I'm going to donate it all to animal shelters for hurricane relief, and also some children's food, school stuff like that. A couple other things, and then the rest went to the PC. So yeah, man, it was just something I wanted to do. So, but anyways, I love my PC and I'm really excited about it. It's not, at the end of the day, what I've learned is that even no matter what, like UEVR, these games are not meant to be in VR. So as amazing as they sometimes look, there's limitations. It can only do so much. So like, I don't even think you really, from what I can tell so far, I don't even think I really needed a 4090. But I'm happy I did because I think the performance is the biggest thing. It was getting to the point where like it was getting to the point to where I was getting really frustrated with the performance, no matter how much tweaking I did, tinkering, whatever. There was just the 4060 Ti just hit a limit. It's not designed for it. And I didn't want to play games looking like crap because that's the only way I could play stuff like Returnal, at least with a PSVR2. With a Quest, you can get away with a little bit more, but like stuff like Returnal, everything. And thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Dogs are amazing. Pets are amazing. And I will get another one at one point, but yeah, I'm definitely going to take some time. But yeah, dogs are the freaking best, man. I'm such a dog person. I know we're a bunch of game cats, but I'm a huge dog guy. And he lived a really long and happy life. So, no regrets. It's life. But anyways, sorry. It's hard to talk about still. I miss him very much, but yeah, man, I'm really excited about the PC and dude, we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to do some mods. I saw somebody ask about Skyrim. Hell yes. I'm going to, I am absolutely, that's another reason I wanted the 4090, is like, I'm going to mod the shit out of Skyrim. Absolutely. I want to throw in some mods there. But yeah, I'm not going to go crazy with it. I just want to, it would be cool though, but you need that VRAM, and those are insane for performance. With that VRAM gets eaten up really quick in VR. Again, gaming on a PC already takes a pretty beefy PC, but gaming in VR on a PC is insane. You need a quantum computer, like I saw somebody mention earlier. You basically do if you want it, and still, it's not going to run perfect. It's not going to be, the best looking or anything, but it's gonna be good enough to be acceptable. And I'll have this PC for several years, and yeah, man, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. You'll probably see the most of my content with PC over the summer when there's whenever there's a drought. It's just too much. I just can't. Full-time job, having to keep up with all these games, for you guys, because I know the majority of my audience obviously is PS5, but here and there, I'm going to try to sneak some things in. Might even open up another podcast, maybe on the weekends or something, talk about PC stuff and whatnot. So, but I'm going to probably keep it separated because you got to keep them separated. All right, before we get out of here, I got a couple more tips I want to get to. Sal, thank you so much for the $10 donation. I really appreciate you, my friend. Hope you have a wonderful holidays and everything, man. And yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for using the Streamlabs chat as well. 100% of the Streamlabs donations go to me and not the like insane amount that YouTube likes to take. Although no hate against YouTube. I love this platform. It's amazing. Also got Silver Nexus, my dude. Thank you so much for the other donation. Appreciate you, man. It says congrats on the new PC and thanks for all that you do, man. Thank you guys, man. You guys are literally the most wonderful people on planet Earth, and I mean that. I never really expected to be doing this. I never planned to do this. I didn't even want to be on camera originally. I was shy before this. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I was pretty shy about 7 years ago. That changed. I didn't even watch YouTube. I hardly knew what YouTube was. I stumbled across this amazing community because of Brian and everything, and then y'all just have been so supportive and I appreciate you, man. I am thankful for you. So thankful. And it's been a wild ride. It's awesome. But that's enough mushy gushy, guys. I think it's time to get out of here. Again, I don't know if there's going to be, I really don't know. I'm going to be taking a bit of a vacation next week. I'll be around. I'll be in Discord. You can always hit me up in Discord. Reach out to me there, leave a comment on a video. I don't know. Find me anywhere, man. I'll be around. So, you probably see me on Gamescast, hopefully. So, but I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Everything. I'm not going to be too far. If I can, I definitely will be putting some content out, doing a live stream or video or something. I absolutely will do my best. But I'm also going to be very, very busy and on vacation. So that's why I want to make this an extra long, extra special episode, man. But again, man, I appreciate you guys. And man, I'm looking forward to 2025, man. I got my Arken Age key. I've got Arken Age, Demio Battles. I saw somebody ask about Demio Battles. I'm really excited to play that. I haven't yet though. Starship Troopers. I mean, the Starship Troopers is low on the totem pole, to be honest with you. Masters of Light, I got to check out. But yeah, so I've got some more work. I'm going to be doing lots of work behind the scenes still, as always. I'll try to, post whatever I can, post anything I can and on the Patreon. Shout out to all these lovely fine people that support me here. I try to get some additional content, reviews, thoughts, things there. But thank you all, everyone who tuned in tonight, man. Appreciate all of you for being here. You're the absolute best. Thank you to the moderators. Nick Mulo, I saw you here too. Rethmania, I saw you, homie. Sorry I didn't get to chat more with you guys. There's a lot to talk about today. But I definitely would hopefully can go back and read some comments. But thank you to everyone who donated, man. It helps so much. You have no idea. Keeping the lights on here. But yeah, man, y'all are the absolute best, man. Go enjoy some great VR goodness. And yeah, man, I'll maybe try to do one more live stream before Christmas. And I don't know. Let's just say maybe you guys will get to choose what I play. And with that, we're going to get out of here. Love you guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Be good. Have fun. Play games. Enjoy VR and be good and kind to one another.